When somebody says, I cannot step over a child who's
Absolutely.
in the street outside my house, and you can't.
No.
You know, and you see pictures like that, I mean, you would have to be heartless for that not to touch you. But giving blankets, giving help, donating money, is it going to be enough?
Well, it's reassuring, I think, to see human beings responding to other human beings in what is a humanitarian crisis. After that point, I then think it's very, very tricky ground, I think, if a government, in dealing with its policy, deals with it emotionally. Because if you deal with this kind of thing with emotions when you are a government, it's all going to go horribly wrong. So the key thing that we're talking about here, about this very small island, is that they're passing through. What we have in the UK is the problem of that when people come here, they're not passing through. This is their destination. This is the country that they want to come to. Not all of them, but the ones that do, Germany as well. And how are we going to deal with that? How is our infrastructure going to deal with that? How are our public services going to deal with that? And that's where I think policy has to come in. I also think that camps are very, very important, because when they come into the camps, they're registered for their safety as much as anybody else's safety. Their children's needs attended to, their medical needs, etc., etc. And then you look at them and you go, right, which country are you going to best be suited to? What language do you speak? What skills do you have? What do you
have other family already there? Some of them
exactly. And there is a process. I think when we get emotional and everyone starts saying, they can come into my house, they can come into my house, suddenly the floodgates will open and we don't know, for their safety as well as ours, who's living with who's going where.
And would you open your home, Sarah? Because, you know, we've seen Sir Bob Geldof, a lot of the leaders from the opposition are saying, oh, yes, you know, bring them, I've got a room in my house. But this is going to be long-term once they get there. Would you open a room in your house and say, come and live with me?
It's a really interesting question, and I'm not going to feel bad by saying, no, I wouldn't open my home. Because, look, these people are refugees. They have been traumatised. The gentleman just said mental trauma. These children and people have seen things that we will never see. That at some stage will manifest itself, and I am not a skilled counsellor. I don't know how to deal with people with trauma. I've got 2 children in my home. I work, my husband works. You know, what I will do is I will help my local authority if they need my help, by volunteering, by giving food, by helping out in any way that I can. But I am not going to feel bad by saying, I'm really sorry, but I can't open up my home to people that I don't know.
No, well, I agree with you, and I don't think
we should feel bad about saying that.
I don't think you should feel bad. I don't think anyone should feel bad. I mean, it's all very confusing, because one day I'm ruled totally by my heart. You know, when you see those dreadful pictures and film, and you just want to do so much. The human side of you just wants to go, yes, come in. And then you read some fantastic, intelligent piece in the paper from the government's point of view or political point of view, and I kind of agree with see it from their point as well. And I just think for me now, the whole thing is, it's not a case of, yes, let them all in and move into our houses. I think now we need to look beyond that as well and work out the problem behind that.
We have, as taxpayers in this country, we've given almost £1 billion to Syria for aid, and we've just pledged another 100 million to pour into the camps. And, you know, so we are doing our bit, but I do think we do have to be careful not to get too over-emotional in dealing with policy for the long term.
Well, I think you're right. I think, you know, we can do that, just have to help by getting clothes together, but actually the politicians are the ones that need to sort it out in an unemotional, focused way.